Hi there everyone, it's Linda here from Just For Tummies and today I'm going to be speaking to a very special guest. It's a lady that I've known for a number of years, a fellow colon hydrotherapist, Heather Moncrieff, but Heather is also Scotland's only raw food chef, or at least she was. I believe that she still is, and she makes the most amazing raw chocolates like this one. So I'm going to introduce Heather, and we're going to be asking a few questions about her, what she does, and about her raw food and about her raw chocolate and the raw chocolate that she is now putting our live bacteria probiotic powder into. So let's get Heather into the video.
Good morning.
Hi Heather.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. And how are you this lovely morning?
Very well, and it's a lovely morning up here in Shetland too, nice and bright and dry.
I love your stars.
Oh, thank you.
And I
I
love your
wasn't sure
earrings.
how I was. There we go. That's maybe better.
What are your earrings made of?
They're actually just plastic.
Oh,
Um,
right.
And you know, I've never had an occasion to wear them because they don't seem to go with anything. So I thought I'm going to put them on with my blouse this morning and try and look very professional for Linda.
Well, I think they go very well with the backdrop to this video. Can you see what the backdrop is? It's that gorgeous photo of your chocolates.
Oh my goodness. Yes, so it is. I never noticed that. Yeah,
And
I'll
I
go
just
up to
wondered what that blue powder was, Heather.
blue spirulina. Yeah,
I didn't even realize you could get blue
I
spirulina. I
know.
thought it was
So
only
somebody's just
green.
jumped up here. I do hope he doesn't disrupt our video.
It doesn't
Yes,
matter.
blue spirulina from Hawaii. Yeah,
Wow.
very,
Well,
very.
we'll get on to more about some of the ingredients that you put in your raw chocolate later,
Mhm.
Heather. But anyway, welcome to. I mean, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me today, because I know for you today it's a clinic day, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. After we clue up, then I'll just go and open up the clinic and have a customer coming in. Yeah.
So let's get started on the questions. So yes, Heather, there we go. So tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? Where do you do it? And why do you do it?
Okay, well, I'm a plant-based chef and a colonic hydrotherapist.
Mhm.
Um, I work from home in my clinic, as we were saying. I make a range of raw, healthy chocolates. I also host plant-based classes from time to time where I teach everybody how to make all the raw, healthy foods. Um, I'm based up here in the beautiful, wild and windy Shetland Islands. Um, we're way up, as you know, 60 degrees north. We're the furthest that you can get in the British Isles.
Mhm.
We have a bit of a Scandinavian vibe going on. We belonged up until 552 years ago to Norway, Denmark. We were Scandinavian
Until
till
when,
we
Heather?
till 552 years ago.
Oh, I see.
1472, we were handed over as part of a dowry. It's an interesting story. The princess, the Danish princess, was marrying a Scottish king, but when she was doing the trip over, the boat capsized and she drowned in bad weather. So we still had to hand the dowry over. So so Orkney and Shetland were handed over in 1472. So we are Scottish, we are British, but we have a little bit of a Scandi vibe going on as well.
Okay. So we've known each other several years, haven't we, Heather,
Mhm.
through through our colon hydrotherapy profession.
Mhm.
And but unlike you, I'm now retired,
Mhm.
retired from colonics because I'm just too busy running the Just for Tummies supplement company. So I know that colon hydrotherapy, as it did me, gives you a great deal of satisfaction. And what kind of symptoms do people present with?
The usual sort of IBS symptoms like bloating, indigestion, pain in the abdomen, fatigue. Just most of the clients that come to me just say they feel, with those symptoms, they feel tired, sluggish, constipated, diarrhea. They just want to see if a cleanse of the entire system will help them, and a lot of time kickstart a new health regime.
Yes, yes. And are many of them interested in raw food or plant? Let's say, is it plant-based food?
Yes, plant-based food. Yeah.
Plant-based
I
food.
mean, most of the time, my classes, because I was trained as a raw food chef in Northern California, yeah, most of it is raw, whole foods. But I also sometimes just, when I'm doing the classes, I'll tell them alternatives for cooking it. And a lot of the raw food as well is heated up and warmed. It's all not like, it's not all cold, especially living, as we say, 60 degrees north. Sometimes in the winter, you want warm, nourishing food as well. So a
Yes.
lot of it is warm and heated up. It's just not cooked over 42 degrees so that all the nutrients still stay
That's right.
safe.
I remember when I did a plant-based, well, it was called a raw food. I'm going back about 20 years now, Heather. I did a raw food weekend course with Elaine Bruce. Do you know Elaine Bruce?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you must Google Elaine Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine, she must be well into her late 70s now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been raw or plant-based for, as far as I'm aware, over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying, where did I go to see it? It's a long time ago. I seem to think it's somewhere near Bristol. And
Mm-hmm.
in her home, so she had a 3-story property, a beautiful Georgian property, and in the basement she had her kitchen, and
Uh-huh.
she had racks and racks and racks of wheat grass growing at
Oh.
different stages of growth, and she also distilled her own water as well. And we did lots of cooking, preparing plant-based meals. It was absolutely amazing, and
Right.
she was just a font of knowledge on
Mm-hmm.
plant-based food. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Elaine Bruce. Yes, yeah, and she's still
Yes.
around because I see her now and again pop up
Mm-hmm.
on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us then, how did you get into becoming a raw food chef? I mean, what made you? I mean, I'm assuming that you're totally plant-based.
No, I'm actually not. I was 100% vegan for a long time at the time I did my training 10 years ago. And then I transitioned into being more like pescatarian. So
Okay.
I will eat fish.
Mm.
It just, as you know, being a naturopath and colonic hydrotherapist, even though we've all got the same organs, how our bodies perform sometimes can be quite different. And it just didn't 100% agree with me. So by
Mm.
introducing a pescatarian type diet, that worked better for me. Because
Mhm.
of course they're all different sort of digestive issues like leaky gut, SIBO, things like that. And so for me, the pescatarian was the best thing. But yeah, mostly it's plant-based apart from like oily fish, salmon and things like that.
Okay. So you said that you did your plant-based training in North America. Whereabouts? Was it in the
Yes,
Rockies?
it was a town called Fort Bragg in Northern California.
I
When
heard of
I
it,
was
right?
traveling in 2014, I'd been going around the world for about 8 months by that time. I took early retirement from the council. I worked in the community development department. That's what my degree was in initially, in community development. The council was doing a restructure at the time, so I went for early retirement because I was about 51 or something at the time,
Mm.
and went for early retirement. Went all around the world traveling, and then I went to see my niece in Texas. And while I was there, I just felt a bit like, when you're traveling, you just don't quite eat the way that you would like to all the time. So I was feeling a little bit run down. So I went to a organic health spa in Texas. And while I was there, they were offering this colonic hydrotherapy. And I'd always been interested in it, but never tried it. And also in situ was a raw food chef. And both those things literally blew me away. I couldn't believe what you could create being a raw food chef and the health that I felt after doing a series of, actually, they did a series of 8 colonics in a row there. But the
What,
health,
daily ones? Daily.
yes, 8 daily ones, and by heavens, I needed it actually.
Mm.
And after that, I was like a different person. I just couldn't believe how I felt. So when I then returned back to Shetland, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, I decided I was going to look into becoming a raw food chef and a colonic hydrotherapist. So I did my training in the north of England as a colonic hydrotherapist. And then after that went out to North California and completed a very, very intensive 3-month plant-based chef training. It was incredibly intensive, but obviously they were taking people from all over the world. So you had to more or less work from 9 in the morning until about midnight doing your prep for the next day for 3 months. So it was very tiring, but very, very worth it. And then you had a lot of exams at the end of it, as well as all your daily
And
prep.
that was 2014, was it?
Yes, that's right. This time last year, I would have been set off and doing my training in Fort Bragg. So, yeah, I was totally blown away with both that things. Did my training, came back to Shetland, and started my business in 2015. Didn't have anybody anywhere near me doing neither of it. You said at that time I was the only plant-based chef I knew in Scotland. I didn't know any other colon hydrotherapists. So in my search for a supplement that I thought would complement gut health, I found you, and then came down to do my first, what was I doing? That was some course, I think I met you in Birmingham, or it might have been a Rick Tart conference, I can't remember, and met you in Shetland Islands. And from that point on, I had 2 mentors who've helped me enormously. I wouldn't have been able to do my colonic job to the same extent if I didn't have had you 2 mentoring me. So I'm eternally grateful.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And of course, you know, we've all been in that position, as was I when I first qualified. You know, I had a very good mentor as well. Okay, so what are some of your favourite raw food recipes?
Well, probably my favorite is a lime, pistachio, and mango fermented cheesecake, which I sort of had seen fermented cheesecakes, but didn't know really how to make them. So I set off to learn about it. And I actually use your probiotics in it. That's what I use in it.
Oh,
And
that's how you ferment it.
yeah, that's how I ferment the cashew cheese using your
So
probiotics.
okay.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know it wasn't a cheesecake. It even tastes
Really?
better as a cheesecake. There's not any aftertaste. It's absolutely delicious. So however we do it, whether I put it in a link on this video chat, or I send the link to whatever, I'll give the recipe out.
Oh,
Using your
please let us have
probiotics.
the recipe, and we
Yeah.
will include it in the newsletter that we send out with the video.
Yeah, and then I have cherry brownies that I make using walnuts as the base, and they just taste like brownies. And then there's things like almond pappetta, and I think my favorite is the Indian bliss patty. Again, I can put that recipe
Is
to
that
you.
more of the savoury one?
Yes, that's savory. It's I would use sort of, when I'm making my almond milk, I would keep the pulp from that homemade almond milk, and also I would have maybe the day before I would have soaked some sunflower seeds, and that 2 things make the base, and then you add your spices and your herbs into it, and it is unbelievable. You would not
Oh, we need that
believe.
recipe too,
Yeah,
please.
unbelievable. So that's always a showstopper at the
Oh, that
class
would be
food.
amazing to have a savoury plant-based
Yeah,
recipe and
absolutely.
and a sweet one. Yes,
There's
that's
so many, Linda. I could go on wax
well,
lyrical for
I'm
half
sure
an
you
hour.
can. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can. Okay, then. So you also make the most amazing raw chocolate bars and hearts, and you've sent me some here that I've got. So this is one of the hearts. That's one of the hearts. Just showing you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the
Mm-hmm.
hearts. And I showed this gorgeously colourful bar earlier, and
Yes.
then you make the smaller bars. I mean, this one, that are they cherries?
That's the cherry ones too, yeah, juicy cherry. And I also do the little smaller ones in the
Ah,
of the big
like that.
one you just showed, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, that's great. And then you make these. Oh, yes. That's and then you make these smaller
Yes, little bag.
plain
Yes,
bars as well.
yes.
Right.
Three
So
sizes. So
um,
bars, blocks, and bags of hearts. And of
bars,
course, yeah.
blocks, and bags of hearts. So sorry. What's the difference between a bar and a block?
Basically all the differences you can see is the size.
It's just the size.
That's just the size, yeah.
So
So
a
it's
bar is a large one. A block is a small one.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Right.
And the
And
hearts come in little bags of 3, which I put my label on, but for purposes of you seeing it, I've kept the label off.
yes.
And I can make them basically in any size. So if I got an order in, a special order for 20 hearts, that's no problem.
Yes.
Or 3 is the smallest size to do, but I can do any size that people want, basically.
And
Bags of hearts.
the hearts, they don't have any mushrooms in or superfoods. Are they just the because I'm just looking at the list of your plant-based Shetland chocolates, the ingredients
Mhm,
list, Heather.
mhm.
And we've got cacao butter, cacao paste, cacao powder, and monk fruit sugar.
Mhm.
Is that the basic ingredients for all of the raw chocolate?
Yeah, all of the raw chocolate have 6 ingredients: the cacao butter, the cacao paste, the cacao powder, monk fruit sugar, vanilla extract, and Himalayan sea salt. But I will be developing that to use a natural Shetland sea salt in the future. I
I remember
really,
you telling me that. That
yeah.
would be amazing.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
So all the chocolates have that base, and then I go on to do the 6 different flavors, the superfood
We'll come on
one.
to that later. Can we come on to
Mhm,
those later? So,
mhm.
could you start by explaining what raw chocolate is exactly, and how it differs to other chocolates that
Yeah.
we see in
Well,
supermarkets?
basically, raw chocolate is the raw cacao. It's not heat treated. It's not roasted. It's in its natural form. I mean, I'm not. I have to say, I've not gone on and done extensive bar to bean to bar courses. I've just done the basic courses. But yeah, it's basically untreated, supposed to the, which will come on to the other ones that's highly processed milk.
And you trained in Hawaii, didn't you? You learned how to make raw chocolate in Hawaii.
That's correct. In 2009, I was doing a 3-month sabbat. I kind of took 3 months out from the job I was in at that time in the council and went traveling for 3 months. Was driving around the states, the southwestern states. Got a bit cold as I headed north, so ended up in Hawaii.
As you do.
Yeah, and had a brilliant experience there. Did retreats there and everything. And while I was in a retreat there, we were offered to do a 1-day course if we wanted, 1-to-1, with one of the chefs from what was called Noniland, David Avocado Wolf. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a huge
David
big,
Wolf.
yeah.
Oh, you learned how
Mhm.
to make raw chocolate with David Wolf.
No, not him. One of his chefs from
Ah,
Noniland. Yeah,
of course I
he
knew David Wolf.
Yeah, he came to the retreat and from David's farm and taught me how to make raw chocolate. It was
Wow.
just blew me away. All the ingredients that was in it was just
Mm,
amazing.
mm,
So I came home and I started making raw chocolates and raw health powders as well, and would sell them in like local craft fairs and things like that.
mm, mm,
Yeah, so a great experience, great place. It's taught me so much, Hawaii.
mm.
Mhm.
Right, so I've had some of your raw chocolate and it's absolutely delicious. I really love dark chocolate. And I also, as I said to you before, I also enjoy a raw chocolate drink, and I make it with almond or cashew nut milk, and sometimes I'll put turmeric and ginger in, or lion's mane mushrooms, and I
Hmm.
have that most evenings. But of course, as you said, with the probiotic chocolate, you have to be really careful at what temperature you heat it to, because if you
Yes.
heat probiotics, if they get too hot, then it
Hmm.
just kills the friendly
Yeah.
bacteria. So it's 40, no more than 42 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, there are, I mean, I think there are other ones that might go a bit higher as that, but when I'm doing it and trying to temper, I don't go much above 42, 43
Mm,
degrees and bring it down and put it up again. So you don't have to temper the chocolate. It's just as good, put like slapping it in your fridge and not bother. It'll be fine. But I do it like that. And yeah, that preserves the raw cacao and your probiotics.
mhm.
And yeah, even when I'm using, as we will maybe come on to the flavors, but when I'm using like the mushroom powders and that, I don't like to heat it up. So I want to actually put out the product that I believe in and that I'm genuinely making raw and adhering to that. So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
ethics my ethics around people's health and nutrition is really, really important to me. That's why I only use the monk fruit sugar, which is
Yes, I was
yeah.
going to ask you about that, Heather, because I mean, virtually every ingredient in your raw chocolate is organic. I know that, but I just
Virtually, yeah.
wondered why would you use monk fruit sugar over, say, coconut sugar?
For me, I wanted to develop a bar of chocolate that was um, using a non-processed sugar. So I wanted one that was keto if I could, was zero glycemic, zero
Mm,
calories,
I did wonder if
zero
it was that.
carbs. Yeah. So monk fruit sugar for me, that has all that in it. So when I'm actually saying to people, I'm not using a processed sugar, I'm actually using sugar that I believe that with my research is healthy for you. I can take the guilt away because I think everybody loves chocolate. We know what it does for us, but sometimes it's associated with a lot of guilt. So
Mm,
I wanted to try and take that guilty feeling away.
okay. So, is it easy to make? If someone wanted to make their own raw chocolate at home, is it easy to do?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you only just need to. I mean, I can provide you with the recipe. But you only really just need to Google, and you'll find thousands online. If you have cacao paste, well, no, not even that, cacao butter,
Mhm,
cacao powder, a kind of sweetener that you'd want, like the monk fruit sugar, the coconut sugar, as you say, honey,
mhm,
a little bit of vanilla extract, sea salt. That's really all you need. That would make your basic raw chocolate.
okay.
Hmm.
Um, thank you. So, do you use raw chocolate in any other recipes or drinks?
Yes, all the time. I mean, I'm making it daily. I would use it in the type of drink you're saying, like a maybe not a ceremonial cacao and call it all that, but I do use the pure organic stuff and make my own hot drinks. I make it in bliss balls. I make just a most delicious, again, raw plant-based orange chocolate tort, which
Oh,
again I can provide a recipe for.
can I just
I
make a
just
suggestion, Heather? You don't have a recipe book, do you?
No, because there's so much out there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yes.
just
I
so much
know.
out there in Google. Yeah. And Linda, at the moment, with working 3 days in the clinic full time, and I do have to do everything on my own. It's a very, very busy job. I'm the only person up here. Um, and doing my chocolates. I actually don't have capacity for anything else. But I think if I did give up the colonics, which I may well do in a couple of years, I think that's the time that I might do more of the plant-based stuff and develop things.
I know
Mm.
exactly what you mean, because people often contact me, because we have lots of recipes here at Just for Tummies, for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, meat
Mhm,
eaters, and people keep asking me, can you please put all your recipes into a book,
mhm.
into a recipe? But it's just not as simple as that, is it,
No,
Helen? I just
no.
do not have the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So can you tell us what? Oh, so are you maybe thinking of retiring from colonics in a couple of years then? That's not too
Maybe a
far away.
couple of years, yeah. I mean, the device that I use, I had to ship over from Texas in a box the size of a shade. And its life was only meant to be around about 10, 12 years.
Ah,
So I think maybe when it comes to the time it maybe needs replacing because the parts are, needing replaced so often, and it's too expensive to ship them from Texas. I think that maybe that would be the time that I could just sort of
yeah,
transition more into the plant-based stuff and do more classes, because there's people are really interested in this
they
type of
are.
food.
They are. And
Really
maybe as well do some YouTube videos that they would be so popular, how to what ingredients do you need, and the preparation method, that kind of thing. People would absolutely love that. I
Yeah,
would.
I think you're right. I made about 6 years ago, I was commissioned to make a raw chocolate wedding cake, a 3-tiered raw chocolate. No, it wasn't chocolate. That's a lie. It was more of a vanilla cheesecake that I made, but it was huge in 3 tiers, and it came out absolutely amazing. But I couldn't find one single video on how to do that. So it really stretched me in unimaginable ways to try and make that. And I always thought someday I'm going to make a wedding cake, a raw wedding cake, and show people how to do it. So yeah, there's a lot of scope for a lot of things in the future. And
Do
the
you have
plant.
a photograph of that wedding cake?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
could you send it to me with those two recipes, please?
Yeah,
And we'll put
I'll,
it. We'll put
we'll
it in
we'll
the.
have to remind one another at the end of the video what I've committed to there, so
Don't
I
worry.
can send
Let,
them.
let me make a note. So we
Yeah.
want just a second. We want a pic of the raw, well, the plant-based wedding cake,
Mm-hmm.
and recipe for the. Was it a pate? Did you say, or a spread?
Yes, the Indian bliss party.
Indian. I love the name. Did you come up
Yeah.
with that name?
No, no.
No. Indian
Mm,
bliss pate and the cheesecake. What was the
yeah.
cheesecake? The name of the.
I can do two. I can put the one for the mango, lime, and pistachio fermented one using your probiotics, and I can put one for the chocolate tart.
Mango, lime, and fermented cheesecake.
Mango, lime, pistachio, yeah, and
Oh,
fermented
mango, lime, pistachio,
pistachio. Fermented cheesecake.
fermented cheesecake with probiotics. And what was
Hmm.
the other one? The chocolate tort.
Chocolate tart, yeah, it's just divine.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Chocolate orange tart, actually. It's a
Well, yes,
chocolate,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, chocolate orange. Oh,
Yes,
you said
chocolate
right.
orange.
It
It's
was
just
chocolate
something
orange.
else. Hmm.
Oh, right. Okay. Don't worry. I won't let you forget. Send these. Right. Okay. So, can you tell us how does raw cacao powder differ from the cocoa powder we use for baking?
Again, it would be the difference in how it's treated and heat treated. So the ones that I use would just not be heat treated. They would be as much as you could possibly in the raw original state,
Hmm.
full of and they're actually fermented. That's how they get it to take out the bitter taste. So it's fermented first, so that and then dried and everything. Um, so it goes through that process anyway. But it would be full of prebiotics to feed the live bacteria, to feed the bacteria. It would be
That's interesting. Sorry, Heather. Can I just come in there? So, raw cacao powder is fermented.
yes,
That's
yeah,
part of
it
the process.
is,
So, of course,
yeah.
there would be pre and probiotics in there then naturally. Whereas the cacao powder, because of the way it's manufactured, it would have a lot of the goodness completely stripped out of it.
Yeah, I'm probably better. I did do a note, and I'm being just all doing this out of my head, but I'm probably better because I'm a plant-based chef, of course, not a nutritionist, so I'm always careful to say that. But I did write down a couple of bits, which was basically, as I said, using raw cacao powder paste and butter, and all the raw cacao products I use in the six. I told you about the
Yes.
six basic stuff. Are all organic and minimally processed, so that there are more nutrients intact. It's an excellent source of dietary fibre, acts as a prebiotic, serving the beneficial bacteria in our gut, which you're the gut expert. And I think that's a brilliant combination of, along with your life bacteria. It's full of flavonoids. It has anti-inflammatory properties, things in it like magnesium, potassium, antioxidants, some iron in it too. And then chocolate stimulates the release of endorphins and dopamine and the chemicals that's associated with pleasure and euphoria. I think it was the Mayans that called it the food of the gods.
Yes.
So it really, chocolate really is a wonderful commodity, I think, especially if it's not used full of dairy and processed sugar. So
Yes.
there are loads and loads of ways to make it a really healthy and nutrient packed.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
product.
So where does your raw cacao powder come from? Anything you can get hold of?
Most of all I have, because I live in the Shetland Islands, and it would be far too expensive for me to use local health food shops. I have to buy it in bulk and ship it up. So most of my stuff does come online, but it comes from South America. And when I'm ordering, because I'm very mindful of cost, because then I have to pass the cost on to the consumer, then I really do shop around to find out, even if I can save £10 in a bulk order, that all helps. And cacao paste and cacao butter especially, all the cacao products have gone up threefold in the last few years. So I shop around online, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say on like certain companies. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I use
Yes,
it.
of course.
Yeah, because I use most of my cacao butter from NutriCraft. But I'll use Whole Foods online. I'll use Seven Hills. There's lots of all the whole food, healthy, organic companies that I use.
Yes, yes. I remember those names, in particular Seven Hills, from when I went down to Homefield Grange to the retreat, where when you're there, it's raw food, plant-based,
Yeah.
plant-based
Yeah.
food.
Real Food Source is another good one, but there are loads of really good quality companies in Britain that'll import the stuff. So I get it from them, but I do shop around because the price can vary enormously from time to time, depending on the harvests in South America.
Yes, well, the lady I get my raw cacao powder from, she sent an email out recently, actually, to say that she was going to have to be putting her prices up substantially.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it was something to do with the harvest,
It says El Nino. Yeah.
There's things from South America as well.
Yeah, no, definitely El Nino has had a big impact, the big weather front that's had a big impact on the harvest. So it has literally gone up threefold, three times. Yeah.
Okay, so you've made some raw chocolate bars that contain the powder from one of our live bacteria. Those. So which of your chocolates have the probiotic powder in, and why did you want to put a probiotic powder into your raw chocolate bars?
So at the moment, the only one that has the live bacteria in it is just the plain chocolate made with that 6 base ingredients, and then your raw, exactly. And then you do them in hearts as well, and it can do as many hearts as people want. So like you said, Linda, if somebody wants to drop a little probiotic heart in their drink or melt it down, it's a wonderful way. And if you want to take your probiotic, instead of taking 1 capsule a day with your cold water, then you can munch on a heart and still get the benefits of your 1 probiotic a day.
So
So in
can
the future, we could develop it. Maybe me and you may talk a bit more, but I could develop it using for women's capsules or anything that maybe in the future that comes up in the pipeline with you. I could go into my
yeah, talk more
chocolate
about
range.
that. So can I just clarify then the hearts? I've got a little bag here with 3 hearts in, Heather. So those 3 hearts have got one the powder from one of our live bacteria capsules in, or is it each heart that's got the powder?
No, that would be too expensive for me. It's each batch of 3
Each
hearts.
batch of 3. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
fine. Yes.
And one bar's the same. It just has one probiotic in it and one block, yeah, the same.
The same. The
Yeah,
same.
so that it's, yeah. But yeah, so when I'm making the hearts, I have to really work out the amounts and how I do that. But yeah.
That's fine. And I mean, why did you want to put a probiotic powder into raw chocolate? Well, it's a no-brainer, really.
Exactly.
You know, because there are so many health benefits associated with raw chocolate.
Mhm, mhm.
That why would you not just want to enhance those benefits with a probiotic? And
Absolutely.
it's just a great way of getting, you know, more probiotic bacteria into you, isn't it?
Exactly, and putting it into something that's already nutrient dense, healthy, and good for you.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, you have to, like anything, you can't be munching on 50 chocolate hearts a day. You know, you want to have like 2 or 3 or a few squares of chocolate or a little half a block or something like that. You don't want to overdo anything, as you know.
yeah. I know. Yes, I think I've written about my experience many years ago of eating raw chocolate in London at a. It was kind of a health. Yes, it was a health exhibition that my husband and I went to during the day, and I think raw chocolate was very new to the UK back then. And the bar, it wasn't, it was bigger than that, but it wasn't as big as that one. I'd say it was
Mhm.
kind of in between, and I just ate it all because Kevin didn't like it. Kevin's got a very sweet tooth. And then we went to see Billy Elliot that evening in London, and well, it was just, and as you know, these theatres, I mean, they just have what, like 2 toilets for women. just had to barge through, let me through, please. Yes. So for me, I have to be really careful because it acts as a natural, healthy laxative.
Yes, exactly. For some people, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So let's just go through again some of the health benefits of eating raw chocolate. Then, quite apart
Mhm.
from the probiotics, you know, there are many health benefits of taking probiotics, from gut health to immune health to cognitive
Mhm.
health and skin
Yeah.
health. Lots and lots of benefits. But what are the other health benefits of eating raw chocolate?
I think really like the things I was describing, like it's excellent sort of dietary fiber. You know, the endorphins that's released. They know scientifically that chemicals get released in the brain and how it makes you feel. So I think it's apart from all that it's that feel good factor,
Well, it's
but
just packed full of antioxidants, isn't it?
absolutely
And that's
and
quite apart from the raw chocolate that you make, where you are adding all those extra ingredients. I'm just looking on the back of this bar
yeah, the
here.
super good one, yes, exactly, because we have the spirulina in that, we have the hemp powder,
Yes,
we have matcha.
yes.
Um, I probably need to sit and read out the whole lot so people know. But apart from the 6 basic ones, then we have the sour cherries. So I chose sour cherries, black mulberries, and goji berries because they were the lowest ones. They contained less sugar as other ones, but they also had, you know how good berries are for you. So they always also had the best benefits, I felt, to put in the chocolate and extremely tasty. So I chose those berries very carefully for the health benefits.
I absolutely
Um,
love cherries, and during the summer I just gorge on English cherries.
Yeah. And then I put in cacao nibs, pistachios, chia seeds. Chia, of course, is a great source of dietary
Great
fiber
sugar.
and protein as well. Matcha powder, ashwagandha powder. So
Yeah.
ashwagandha in India, they say it gives you the strength of the stallion. So I use ashwagandha, and when I make my own raw cacao chocolate drinks, I put ashwagandha in it, and I put it in my matcha every morning as well.
Okay, we'll
I
come on to a few more ingredients in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Does the chocolate have to be kept in the fridge, Heather? And what's the shelf life for it?
I prefer to keep it in the fridge because I just think that it doesn't matter what the temperature the house becomes, if it gets too hot or people leave it out and it's starting to, it wouldn't really melt because it's tempered, but I just prefer it to be in the fridge, especially when it's got the live bacteria, because then it's out of your capsule and it's in the fridge by then. And I just prefer how it feels and tastes. But it doesn't have to be. No, it's in the shops, which I provide people with, then it's just on the shelves, but the shops will be cool. The shelf life varies because I'm using it, certainly in the superfood chocolates, or super good as I have to call it, because environmental health doesn't let you call it superfood. Then I've forgotten what I was saying there, Linda. Oh, shelf life, yeah. So the ingredients vary because there are 21 in it. So if the spirulina, for example, is coming to an end, there might only be 3 months left in that, but the cacao paste has got 2 years on. So sometimes the sell-by date might be 2 years, it might be 3 months, it might be 6 months.
So it
but
just
I've never
depends
put
on the
out less
ingredients.
less as 3 months.
Yes, okay. So coming on to the ingredients then. So I'm just looking at the ingredients list here. And so, for example, yes, your superfood chocolate bars and blocks, they've got the main 6 ingredients, what are called the base ingredients. And then you've got the chia seeds, the black mulberries, cranberries, sour cherries, goji berries, matcha powder, blue spirulina, hemp powder, ashwagandha powder, dragon fruit powder, raspberry powder, beetroot powder, rose petal powder, dried edible petals, vanilla extract, and the pink Himalayan sea salt. It's absolutely amazing.
I
should
know.
imagine when you've had 2 or 3 squares of that, you're just kind of rearing to go, like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is most genuinely, apart from the juicy cherry bars, which I have to put Morello cherry extract. So that one sometimes it's really hard to get like an organic one like that. But when I'm using the wild orange, cardamom and lime, that one that I make, that's all pure 100% essential oil, food grade doTERRA I use actually. doTERRA products.
Yes.
Yeah.
I quite like the sound of this one because I'm a big mint fan. Peppermint. So that's amazing. Well, cacao butter, cacao paste, cacao powder, monk fruit sugar, vanilla extract, doTERRA, 100% pure food grade peppermint essential oil, and then just the pink Himalayan salt. But I think a lot of people will be interested in this one. This is the 7 blend mushroom one that comes in bars, blocks, and hearts. So cacao butter, cacao paste, cacao powder, reishi, chaga, shiitake. How do I pronounce this one?
Maitake, yeah, maitake.
Lion's mane, cordyceps, and trimella mushroom powders. And then the monk fruit sugar and the pink Himalayans. That sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. They always taught us when we were in plant-based chef about this taste that you say umami. It has that umami feeling. It's that like deep, rich taste that you just sometimes get that you can't describe to people, and you go, that's you get it in certain soups or stews.
Oh yes, you just know. Well, it's the taste of health, isn't it? It's you know that you're eating something that's really good for you.
And the mushroom chocolates are like that. They have a deep, meaty feeling when they're plant-based to them. That is just totally different from the other chocolates, and in a way they're actually my favorite because they take an extra while to melt in your mouth and everything. And again, that one would be excellent to drop into a chocolatey drink at night and make a chocolatey drink on. Yeah,
You know,
and mushrooms is amazing for your health. I
oh
mean,
yeah, they
off
are.
the scale amazing, but
Have
you
you ever done any of the mushroom courses to learn more
no,
about the health benefits of
yeah,
mushrooms?
yeah,
When I organised the Colonic Association conference one year in London, we had somebody come to talk about. He was an expert in fungi. Came to talk about mushrooms, and there's only so much we can say in this video, of course, Heather, about health benefits of certain things. But yeah, amazing health benefits of mushrooms. Right, so yes, I mean, I think this is a given. Your chocolates would make great gifts, wouldn't they?
They would. I mean, especially because, I mean, as you can see, the beauty of
They're
them. I
so
mean, they're
pretty.
just so beautiful.
They're so
Um,
pretty.
they're beautiful. They're healthy. You can eat them without any guilt associated with them. Um, and I
And
think,
that's because then they're lower in calories. Well, no, they're
yes,
not.
compared to, if you want to compare
Well,
to
well,
like
yeah.
dairy milk bar or something, that absolutely is, but we don't have the dairy and the sugar in them, the calories from the processed sugar.
So the calories in them are healthier calories. That's
They're
what you're trying
healthy,
to say.
yeah,
Yeah,
superfood dense nutrients, yeah,
yeah,
superfood
that's right.
dense foods,
Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, so they absolutely make a great gift, and because they're artisan made, like I'm making them in my studio kitchen here, they're handmade, made with love, and it's all done, yeah, artisan. It's an artisan chocolate,
I know
so
you feel so
yeah,
passionate about
yeah.
your chocolate, as you do your colonic practice as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, I always say I'm looking after both ends, the plant-based stuff and the other end. And people that do eat the chocolate say, like you said, they feel great out of them. I actually
Mm.
had one woman that used to take one of those chocolate hearts before she ran a marathon, and she used to say it sustained her. And I just thought that was unbelievable.
Believe it,
But
because they
yeah,
are so calorie dense.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, they make absolutely wonderful, genuine gifts for anybody, but for people who really value their health as
Yes,
well, I think.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's right. People who value their health. So
yeah,
we talked about this last week, didn't we? About the packaging. If people want to buy your chocolate for gifts, including Christmas gifts, do you have any suitable wrapping
I
or?
do. I actually meant to take that out of the cupboard and bring it down here. Now, well, I've forgotten to do it. I mean, I can do it in a second, but I don't want. Is it okay if I nip away and get them?
Yeah, sure, you
Yeah,
go.
hold on.
Yeah, yeah. So just while Heather pops off to go and get her Christmas wrapping for the chocolates, I just want to, again, this is my favourite. This is the one. This is the one that's got. This is not a probiotic chocolate. This is the one that's got the edible flowers in. In fact, I'm not quite sure what those flowers are. She listed them. I don't think. I don't think she has. You know the edible flowers, Heather. The
Yes.
edible what are they exactly?
Oh, there's so many of them. They actually come from a British company way down in Cornwall, I think, Polly's Petals.
Polly's
So
petals.
Polly's Petals,
A lovely name. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all, yeah, grown and dried and crafted down there. So there's so many in them that I would have to go and get the bag and
Fine.
read
No,
it.
no, don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay. Show us some of your Christmas wrapping
So
then.
I can, for Christmas, like we were discussing, I can maybe put some like red, a nice red bow or green bow on it. But I also have like little boxes made up with my labels on them with a little bit of string, so that they look very sort of
Natural.
natural. Yes, sort
Yeah.
of,
Yes, I
yeah.
love those. Yeah. And
I,
anyway, Heather, people can Christmassy up themselves if they want to, can't
Exactly, but I go with little bows and anything. I can do them in big bags and tie, or big white boxes. I could put all the hearts and barts in
they?
big white
Oh,
boxes. So I can basically do anything that people want,
yeah.
actually. I
Okay.
can be
So very, very
flexible.
flexible. So can
Mhm.
you give us an idea of the cost of, say, the one with the edible flowers, that size, Heather?
Yeah, they are very expensive, as we discussed, because I have the 21 superfood ingredients in them. So that bar would cost $9.90 in private sale. When I obviously put it to the shops, I take a bit of money off for them so they can sell them higher. But
Yeah.
anybody buying directly from me would be $9.90 for that size of a bar.
Right, that's absolutely fine. And of course, what we have to remember with a raw chocolate, because it's so satisfying, you don't need a lot
You
of it,
don't.
do
That's right.
you? Just
No,
one or
and
two little
the
squares.
little bars would super good bars would be about 4.90, yeah,
Yes,
and
yeah.
then
And
the
they're
plain
quite thick.
flavored ones.
They're
Say that
quite,
again.
they're quite thick. These
Very thick,
bars
yeah,
are, aren't they? I mean,
yeah.
how do you break that? Do you need like a hammer?
I know a lot of people do just bite
I,
into
I
it.
think I just do that.
Yeah, a lot of people like that because it stops them eating so much. But I tend to
That
just put
one's
the
thinner. That one's thinner, you see.
yeah, and then he's got a proper bottom on him with all the squares, so he
Yes,
can just break.
yes.
But I've a few customers say they prefer the bars because it doesn't make them eat so much. They have to put the point of the knife in, or
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. I'm just thinking
yeah,
of getting like a toffee hammer to
yeah.
right.
That's
So
it.
so
So
just under
the flavored ones are a bit cheaper.
oh,
Sorry,
sorry,
what was that?
just under £10 for that.
Yeah,
Did you say £5 something for that?
4.90.
Just under £5 for that. What about the
Yeah.
little hearts, the 3 hearts?
The little hearts are about 3.50 a bag of hearts,
Okay.
and then
The probiotic chocolate, the
the
small one.
probiotic chocolates. I will put the price list up when we do this because there's so many different things for me to remember off by heart. But the flavored ones are about 50 pence cheaper as the superfood ones.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And what about the 7 blend mushroom one?
yeah, they're
How,
about 50 pence cheaper too. So they would
mm,
probably be about maybe 8.90 or something like that for the block for the bar, and maybe about 4.50 or £4 for the block, and the
okay,
hearts
okay,
three
that's
hearts would
fine.
be the same, 3.50.
I
But
mean,
I'll put all the prices up for or your subscribers. Excuse me.
as you say, this is an artisan-made product. And a lot of people really appreciate anything that's artisan-made, handmade. You know, all the work that's gone into it, and you know the fact that you source the best organic ingredients as well. So, how do people contact you and find out more about prices and how to purchase your raw chocolates?
Well, I have my Plant Bliss Shetland website. So that's the word plant and bliss and put together. So I have that. It's not a website. That's not true. It's a Facebook page at the
Oh, your
moment.
Facebook page, yes.
Yeah.
So
So you can
are
direct.
all your prices on there then, Heather?
Yes, all the prices is on there. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I know you've got some lovely images of the chocolate on
hmm
there as well.
hmm So
Um,
they can just Facebook message me on there.
yes, okay,
hmm
that's great. Right, I'm very mindful that you've got a clinic day today, and I've got to go. I've got to go to the hospital.
Oh,
To see
how's your mother doing?
well, did I tell you that she had a fall, Heather?
hmm
Yes, yes. So she had surgery on Sunday. So she's just recovering from her broken arm. So it's going to be a long haul, I think. Yes. But look, I want to thank you so much. This has been absolutely fascinating. I have made a note of the recipes that I'd like you to send to me.
hmm
And everyone who's watching or listening, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. So if you do subscribe to the Just for Tummies newsletters, you will be receiving this video in a newsletter. Well, you should have done if you're watching it now. You probably will have received it in a newsletter. But we will put all our videos on YouTube as well, Heather, and we
hmm
share them across social media.
hmm
So thank you so much for your time, Heather.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Amazing information. Have you enjoyed it?
I really enjoyed it. I was so nervous. I thought, yeah, I really enjoyed it because, as you say, I am very passionate about
I know.
colonics and plant-based food. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And of course, you can share the video once it's on YouTube, and I'll let you know when it is. You can share the video amongst your communities as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you
Right.
very
Thank you
much.
so much, everyone. Take care, and I will see you very, very soon.
Cheerio.
Bye bye.